Hey adventure lovers! Today I'm bringing you to another culinary delight. Angler on San Francisco's Embarcadero. Angler opened on September 18th, 2018, as the second restaurant from Saison Hospitality. In its first year, it collected an impressive list of accolades. Esquire's Best New Restaurant, Food and Wine's Best Restaurant Openings, GQ's Best New Restaurant, and it was even a James Beard semifinalist for Best New Restaurant in the USA. Angler quickly became known for its seafood-focused menu, masterfully cooking over an expansive wood-burning hearth with sweeping views of the bay. Angler sits at 132 Embarcadero Street, right along San Francisco's waterfront. Walking in, the space feels both grand and warm. The main dining room distinguishes itself with dramatic steel beams and flowers, centered by an awe-inspiring 30-foot custom wood-burning hearth. Taxidermy and fiberglass gamefish add a touch of hunting lodge whimsy, while elegant wooden tables and colorful tiles keep things modern. The bar and lounge are designed for pre- or post-meal drinks, and off to the side is the game room, an extension of the dining room decorated with a curated collection of taxidermied animals and with sweeping views of the Bay Bridge. This is where Andrew and I were seated. So on to our meal. We had the tasting menu. We kicked off with a cocktail. I ordered the Komorebi, which is a Suntory Toki whiskey drink with pineapple and torched coconut. The burnt coconut added a sweet smokiness, and the aroma enhanced the nuanced whiskey without overpowering it. Andrew chose the Wildwood, made with High West double rye, beef tallow, herbs, and smoked maple. The beef tallow gave the drink a luscious mouthfeel and complexity, reminiscent of Viridian Bar's Old Tomato Beef Cocktail, which I believe was originally formulated with tallow as well. Both cocktails were bright and well-balanced, but we later noted that the overall cocktail menu leans towards basic classics like White Russians and coffee Negronis. If you're a wine lover, Angler's deep wine list, curated by beverage director Mark Bright, may be more appealing. Speaking of wine, their incredibly thin and elegant Zalto stems were exquisite. We were told by GM Angel that their glassware budget alone is $16,000 per year. Talk about fancy, huh? Our first dish on the tasting menu featured cherry stone clams resting in a bright buttermilk dashi with celery and jalapenos. It was exceedingly fresh with just enough heat. I loved the broth so much that I nearly licked the plate clean. It reminded me of Rich Table's albacore tataki in leche de tigre, celery, and serrano, but Angler edged out the win for me. Next came hand-torn bluefin tuna under a lightly acidic sanbaizu jelly with mint and shiso, accompanied by their house-made rice cracker, seasoned with sea vegetables. The contrast between jelly and cracker created layers of texture, and the acidity, saltiness, and umami played beautifully together. A simple salad of lettuces and herbs with Meyer lemon followed. It broke up the richer courses nicely, though on its own I wouldn't pay the $20 a la carte price. It was just kind of basic. Warm, fluffy Parker House rolls joined the salad, paired with cultured seaweed butter. These were also very nice. A nice supporting act, but not the star. Next, a piece of sourdough soaked in brown butter and shio marin, topped with creamy Hokkaido uni. The uni melted on the tongue, tasting of the sea without being overly briny. I've often thought that the way a restaurant prepares its uni tells you a lot about how good they are at mastering seafood. And this bite certainly showcased the Angler's seafood chops. A duet of dishes followed: plump hand-dyed scallops, bathing in sake leaf butter, served on a shell with lemon, and a slowly grilled hen-of-the-woods mushroom seasoned with the restaurant's signature Angler sauce. The scallops were some of the best I've ever had, perfectly caramelized yet tender. Beautiful sturgeon medallions, cooked just to opacity, came next, sat in a black pepper fumet and wakame broth. As a huge pepper lover, this was quite a treat. The deceptively simple Angler potato rounded out the table. Paper-thin slices of potato are reassembled, then grilled and basted with butter, served in a mode of taleggio cheese sauce and chives. I joked with Andrew that they must have invented a kartoffeltome for slicing the potatoes this thin, although Andrew stuck with a more realistic answer that they used a mandolin. This was like a fancy, deconstructed, fully loaded baked potato. We ended with Angler's signature soft-serve sundae. Assistant GM Alexandra Jimenez described it as a few simple ingredients made really well. They infuse embers from the hearth into the caramel for a subtle smokiness and top it with house-made candied cocoa nibs and smoked sea salt. It was a satisfying finish that tied back to the restaurant's live fire theme. I didn't know too much about the place going in, so I looked up its history. Chef Joshua Skeens, known for his 3 Michelin-starred saison, wanted a place where he could serve great products simply, prepared and free from BS. Angler was his answer. Chef de cuisine Joe Ho, executive sous chef Dante Fauci, and general manager Angel Rivera lead the day-to-day operations with an attentive team of sommeliers and service captains supporting them. On our visit, we were looked after by Jack in the game room, and the service felt polished yet friendly. Dishes flowed naturally, and our needs were well anticipated. An important tip, Angler adds a 20% autograt and a 6% San Francisco mandate to every check, so plan accordingly. Also, Angler participates in Chase Sapphire Reserve's exclusive tables program. So as of 2026, the refreshed Sapphire Reserve card offers 2 150 dining credits each year for meals at exclusive table restaurants. So if you have the card, you can use those biannual $150 credits to help offset the cost of dining here. Their gift cards, if bought direct, also work for the credit. Here's how I'd rate our experience. Food, 5 out of 5. Creative live fire seafood and seasonal produce. Every dish on the tasting menu was a hit. Just absolutely gorgeous, delicious. I loved it. Ambiance, 4 out of 5. Beautiful hearth, game room, taxidermy, and bay views. What's not to love? It was bustling on a Friday night. Presentation, 5 out of 5. I thought the plates were absolutely stunning. They were colorful. The glassware and the flatware felt luxurious. It was beautiful. Drinks, 3 out of 5. Cocktails were good, but the menu skews classic. We didn't dive into what they're better known for, which is their extensive wine list, and so that probably merits exploration, which would bump their score up higher, but we didn't really try it that much. Value, 4 out of 5. It's pretty pricey, but the quality of ingredients, execution, and experience justify it. Using the Sapphire Reserve credit card can also ease those costs. Service, 4 out of 5. Attentive, polished service. Andrew was not a fan of the quirk of their self-serve flatware in glasses, but overall it was superb. Overall, Angler is a must-visit for seafood lovers. The combination of live fire cooking, a Michelin star, stunning ambiance, and fantastic staff really made our night memorable. The game room's taxidermied animals and views of the Bay Bridge lent a sense of excitement. And the tasting menu shows off both clear technical skill and a keen sense of artistry. If you're in San Francisco and want a splurge-worthy meal, Angler should be on your list. This is a definite recommendation from me. We'd also like to thank Angler for comping our drinks for the night. That was a generous and delightful surprise. Thanks for joining us on this culinary adventure. If you enjoyed the review, hit that subscribe button to follow along on more tasty journeys, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks. Bye.